All right. There's still a reflection in my glasses, but I don't know what to do about that because I have no way. Ooh, it's so shiny! I have no way of moving Ava Sequoia because she is currently not functioning. Yay! Ah! It's very, very frustrating. And it may take up to 3 fucking months to repair her. That's if they have it correctly. If not, up to 6 fucking months. Also, I'm putting some vitamin E on my hands because I'm not able to go outside. Can you hear my PCA through the wall? I don't know. But if I'm not going outside, I'm getting a hand flare up because I'm not getting as much vitamin D. I tried going out. It keeps going. Please stand by. I tried going out in the older wheelchair in Roxy, but I was quickly reminded as to why she was just not made for my body. While we explain the video thing. All right. So anyway, as I take care of my hands with my shiny glasses. Oh, they're so reflective and shiny. Wow! I'm so depressed. I am depressed. I'm also been in my apartment for too long, and I'm just getting a little My hands are really tacky and sticky on a sensory level. Will this actually be edited and released into the world? Who knows? But the video series that we're attempting, it's called, okay, boom, 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 boom. Okay, it's called The World's a Dumpster Fire, but, text over there, featuring me, it's like, hey, the world's on fire. The world's a dumpster fire, okay? We're not ignoring that, but our hearts and our brains need a fucking break, okay? So we're not going to talk about it during the video as the main topic. And then, at the end of the video, a call to action. That's what we're attempting with this. Oh my God, my ankle itches. That's what we're attempting with this video series. For a wide variety of reasons, despite the fact that I'm an anti-Zionist Jew, an intersectional activist, and among other things, that I've been having a hard time taking action when it comes to being in solidarity with Palestine. And I don't mean like emotionally. I mean logistically. I mean in terms of access. People, even though COVID's still a thing, no one's fucking wearing masks. Now I will say it is becoming, I won't say more popular, but it's becoming more of a thing during the pro-Palestine protests because it allows people to protect their identity, and that's it's yay and nay. It's yay and ohs because then people can easily infiltrate a movement. But also I understand people are doing it because it's not great right now. Majority of people do not wear COVID masks, and COVID's still a thing. But more than that, though, I have mild lung disease, so I really can't be out in the crowds, which fucking sucks. By the way, it just Jesus fucking Christ. By the way, I wrote a poem about this. Since I knew that I was stuck in my home. I finished my poetry manuscript. I put it online. So here's the URL. Please read it. It's gonna be on there for free until it finds a home with a publisher where it gets traditionally published, and then it will be there for free. So for a limited time, for free, the poet will hopefully find its publishing home with a publisher soon. Anyway, it feels immensely shitty as a still person when you lack access to things in better times. But it's just the and seeing what's happening and giving a shit on a major level, and it breaks your heart because it shouldn't fucking be this way, and genocide should not be normalized, and that should not be a fucking radical statement to fucking say that. But it's like, once again, and it's very, very typical, right? It's very, very typical to when you're disabled, and depending on your disability, but when you're disabled, like myself, and where it's like, okay, you want to participate? Great. Figure out how you can do that, because the go-to way of participating is not accessible, and that is a pretty conflicting experience, and often it's very isolating. I think one of the thinking about the protests, there's a sense of community, and you lack access to that sense of community. So yeah, I have mild lung disease, and so I don't have the luxury of pretending that COVID's not a thing anymore. And then also the heat. I don't know what I know climate change, but it's like fucking A. It's been in New York City. I don't know if it's around where you are, but in New York City, it's like perpetual fucking heat wave or flood warning, and it's just that's our two modes of weather. It just, and I am quite sensitive to the heat in better times, but try wearing, when I go out into maybe even a smaller protest where I can't social distance, I'm still wearing, a mask and a face shield, because mild lung disease. Here for the movement, not interested in being in the hospital. But as a result, by wearing 2 masks on your face, it gets warmer easier. And because I have dysautonomia, I'm prone to heat exhaustion a lot easier. So that's a thing. So it's been a struggle. It's less tacky, but it still is tacky. I can feel it on my fingertips. Da, 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 da. Oh, it's a weird sensation. I can't say I like it. Da, 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 da. Okay. Back at the height of the pandemic, okay, and COVID pandemic, NYU Disability Studies department did this kind of collection of COVID stories. All right, so then this one person, they reached out to me, and I had written in my own little soapbox blog what happened with me with COVID and in terms of access. And they asked, hey, would you mind if we put this in our little collection of articles or, of things? I said, yes, go forth. Right. Now, cut to a couple of years later, it really comes out into the light of how NYU, it definitely invests in Israel. It is definitely pro-Israel, pro-Zionist, and thus pro-occupation, and in this case, pro-genocide. Because if you're investing in Israel, that's what you're supporting and enabling. So then, not too long ago, this one person who was very lovely reached out to me saying, "Hey, do we have your consent to include your article?" Which I'll include in the link. My brain sputtered out mid-sentence, which is very rude. To include this in the archive. What the fuck do I do with that? Because on one hand, fuck genocide. Just, no, bad. Starving children, bad. Why do I have to say this? Bad. Why do I have to, why? Why? What is going on with the world where it's just kind of like, hey, Michelle, make a fucking statement that this is bad, because it's not the default. So on one hand, I was like, well, but this study is important because, there's a buttload, that's a weird expression, a vast amount, there we go, vast, I said buttload, that sounds personal, there's a lot of disability erasure during the height of the pandemic. I mean, more than usual. And so this really shows that and creates representation. On the other hand, NYU supports Israel. So how do I navigate that as someone who's disabled, but also an anti-Zionist Jew, among other identities? And so I reached out to the student going, hey, so if I wanted to write a little short statement under the link to my article in this archive that's pro-Palestine, would that be cool? And at that point I was like, I don't know, because bad, genocide bad. But at the same time, part of me was like, well, what if you just erased yourself from this archive when you're already pretty fucking erased. The whole story of COVID and highly pandemic, your story is already being erased by default if that's being disabled, and now you're going to like knowingly have yourself erased further, and then I was like, I don't know what to do. And then thankfully the person said, yes, you're I can write a little statement, and this is a statement that I wrote. I'm here with Dr. Frou Frou S'mores Esquire the third, but I'm going to read the quote, and I'll put a link to it in the description. Disabled people exist within every other marginalized community. Therefore, when we fight for the rights, liberation, and safety of the disability community, be it in a pandemic or in better times, we cannot just fight against ableism. For when we are only fighting ableism, we fail to fight for the freedom, safety, and liberation of all disabled people, including those in Palestine. The importance of this project's existence, which shines a much-needed light on the heightened level of disability erasure during the worst of the pandemic, does not erase the fact that when any institution supports an ongoing genocide, in this case occupation, they're not only contributing to the ongoing erasure of disabled Palestinians, but they also cease to fight for all disabled people. Not that we should only fight for disabled Palestinians, but in this instance, the latter does not negate the importance of the former. The former does not negate the existence of the latter. As a queer, anti-Zionist, Jewish disabled, and intersectional activist, I felt it would be remiss not to mention this. In the end, there's no collective liberation without disabled people. There can never be safety for anyone through oppression, and never again means never again for all. Not in my name, Free Palestine. Because also, part of me is like, well, maybe you should just I say I quit in protest. But then, what does that do beyond that initial thing, that initial step? You know, it's like I'm just erased. It doesn't get known. This way, if I stay in the archive, but my bit about being, pro-Palestine, then that's a lasting mark. And on that note, me and my shiny glasses. I don't know, we're going to have to work on this. But again, I can't move the wheelchair. Ah! Oh yes, and now, speaking of links and things, I'm so stressed out. Here's a call to action. It is, what? Hey! So, the call to action, okay, for this video is a petition from Empower Change. And so, and basically it's telling GoFundMe to not be a dick. I'll put a link in the description with all the information. Please take action. And the follow of the video that is to follow, and if you can donate, if not share, the World's Central Kitchen, because they're one of the organizations that are actually feeding people or trying to feed people in Gaza. So as always, be good to yourself, be kind to yourself, except if you're a fascist, which you can then do what? Yes, go fuck yourself. Everyone has something to contribute. You know, if you can't get to the protests for whatever reason, there are other things you can do. So let's fucking do this and fight this, you know, and be what you want to see more of in the world. So that's it. I'm sending you hugs. Ah! Well, I know. Bye.